That's Eddie Bryant. And I see Paul Rogers coming around to the far side of the ring. He'll be in the blue corner.
The fans are clamoring for this first bout of the evening.
They want it to get underway here, and I don't blame them. It's time to box here.
Along the side of the ring, we have the Hooters.
Yes, we do. We'll be seeing them between rounds. They'll be telling us what round it is in case we forget. I'll try not to forget.
Our ring announcer is just about ready.
From the image capital of the world, as well as the War Memorial Auditorium here in Rochester, New York, Rising Star Promotions and Rap Enterprises proudly present this evening's big professional boxing card, and is approved by the New York State Athletic Commission. The Honorable Randy Gordon Chairman. Our judges this evening, Don Ackerman, Tommy Hicks, and Joe A. Ware Sr. Our referee for the scheduled 4-round light heavyweight bout, Frankie Adams. And now, my good friends, introducing the principals. First, in the red corner, wearing the red trunks with the gold trim. He weighed in at 165 1/2 pounds. This young man is making his professional boxing debut from Brooklyn, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the pro ranks, Eddie the Silk Bryant.
That's Bryant, Eddie Bryant from Brooklyn, New York, 165 and a half. Eddie will be in the red corner.
He is wearing the red trunks with the white trim. He tipped in at an even 172 pounds. Now this young man, he too is making his professional boxing debut from Ithaca, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the pro ranks, Paul Lucan Rogers. Rogers.
Professional debut.
You see Bryant's dressed all in red, even down to his boots. Paul Rogers has a white stripe on his trunks.
Bryant and Rogers.
No.
Waiting for the bell, the referee, Frank Adams from Syracuse, New York.
Well, they come right out throwing punches.
You'd think they'd be a little tentative in their first bout.
No, well, of course, they faced each other before in the Empire State Games.
One of them was hurt. Was that the case? And,
yeah, Paul Rogers was injured in the first round, and so the bout was awarded to Eddie Bryant. So I was talking to Danny Akers, his trainer, Rogers' trainer, and he really wants this bout. He wants another chance at Eddie Bryant. He thought he could have beaten him before.
Bryant's throwing some leather.
I'd have to say he has a little bit the better of it so far. He's got Rogers backing up for the most part.
Bryant the aggressor.
Bryant's thrown more punches, hasn't landed all of them, but Rogers trying to come inside. He's a little heavier. Looks like Bryant might have a little better reach.
Hard shot. 2 shots to the midsection.
Bryant keeps coming after him.
Rogers just doesn't seem to have his timing.
No. Oh, he's got a little cut by his left eye. He's got to watch out for the left-handed Bryant. Bryant likes to come with that left hook. I think Rogers trying to come back here. Rogers in clinch. Referee Frank Adams separates him here.
The referees have a lot of experience in handling these boxers.
And I'm sure he'll be checking out Rogers' corner between rounds to make sure that cut is not too serious.
Bryant just seems to be in better shape and better prepared for the bout.
I think he's probably been working a little more. Rogers had about 50 amateur fights behind him. He's 29 years old. So they both have experience.
A little late to start your career in professional boxing.
Timekeeper Barb Nagel singles.
What do you think, Larry? First round.
I think it's a good round for Bryant. I think he certainly threw some really good lefts in there. I think Rogers is going to have to try to stay away from his left and see if Bryant can hit him and hurt him with his right. Rogers has got to be more aggressive.
Round two, a scheduled 4-rounder.
That's right. She did have that sign up so we would remember which round it was. I noticed the sign, and it is the second round coming up.
Well, that's all part of the boxing show.
Sure is. That's it. It's a boxing show. It's a spectacle. It's an entertainment for the fans. It's not just people in the ring hitting each other. That's certainly the major event, but it's the whole atmosphere of the fight is something people should see.
Referee Adams calls the boxers into the center of the ring. Paul Rogers seems to be coming out here a little more aggressive than he was in the first round.
Right. They did work on that cut between rounds. He's trying to avoid that left here.
Bryant just on the surface appears to have a little more experience in the way he's handling himself with his punches.
I think Rogers' game plan might be to tie him up and try to hit him with one punch that could knock him out. He's not going to be able to outpoint him, I don't think, judging from their styles.
Well, he is close to 6.5 pounds weight advantage.
Mm-hmm. Bryant, I think, is pretty solid at that 165.5. Well muscled.
Bryant still the aggressor in the second round.
After coming out a little more aggressively, Rogers has kind of settled back in that pattern of waiting and looking for an opening. I think Rogers would like to go to the body, too, if he could.
Well, Rogers just doesn't seem to get that left hand out to get anything going. He's waiting for that one big punch.
Could be he's trying to protect that left eye, too.
Mm-hmm. Bryant just hit him with a hard right hand.
That was the best right he's thrown so far, I think. Now they're mixing it up.
Rogers still a game competitor.
I don't see him going down easily. I think he'll absorb a lot of punishment before he'll go down.
Bryant seems to throw this right hand as a soft right hand, and he leaves himself wide open. If Rogers could ever find that right hand,
Rogers too much is backing away from it, so he doesn't have a chance to come in on that.
round 2. Larry, that one still looked in favor of Eddie Bryant.
Yeah, I think so. I think the first round could easily have been a 10-8 round. I think this is a 10-9 round here, probably. And the fans are cheering the appearance of the third round.
It brings out the best in everybody.
That's right.
Well, they're working on the eye of Paul Rogers in the left corner.
His trainer, Danny Akers, has a lot of experience. He's a really good trainer. He's been up here before in Rochester. The last card we had here, Danny works with Willie Monroe, who's a Rochester native.
Round 3.
Again, Rogers came out a little more aggressively, but he's protecting himself pretty much, I think, now.
That's Paul Rogers with the red trunks and the white stripe, and Eddie Bryant with the red trunks and the red shoes.
Those are nice boots, too, with nice colorful tassels on them. And if you miss it, you can also read Eddie Bryant's name on his trunks, too. Rogers appears a little bit winded, too, don't you think, Frank?
Sure. He's flat on his feet. He doesn't have any bounce, and Bryant still has bounce coming in.
He's certainly the quicker fighter. Rogers threw a couple hard punches there, but he didn't connect with them, so.
Well, he's going to have to put something together here.
Sure.
We only have half of this round, and fourth round coming up.
Looks like they did a good job with that left eye, though. I don't see any blood there at this point.
He's just throwing out a soft left hand now, Rogers. And,
Yeah, he hit him with a couple of left jabs that really didn't even bother Bryant. These may be first-time fighters, but the referee, Frank Adams, has a lot of experience refereeing out of the Syracuse area. So it's probably a good guy to have in the ring with you when you're making your debut.
Well, he's keeping them apart. Rogers just having a tough time now. He's really getting flat-footed. He's not even throwing any punches.
His cuts opened up a little bit again, too, I see, right around his hairline.
Running down in round 3. There's a good left hand over the top.
Rogers hit a couple there, a couple of lefts. Closing seconds now in the third round. Good left.
End of round 3. Looks like another round towards Eddie Bryant.
I'd have to say so. I think Danny Akers is telling Paul Rogers right now, you got to hit him with your best shot. It's the only chance he's got. But Eddie Bryant's strategy now, of course, is to stay away from him and make sure he doesn't make a mistake and get knocked out.
They're working on Rogers. Here they have that cut under control. Now you see both fighters. Bryant looks like he's still fresh enough to go a few more rounds.
Looks like he's done some really long workouts, perhaps, in his training.
Referee Adams calls the fighters into the center of the ring for round 4, our final round of our first bout of the evening.
And like good sports, they touch gloves before the round starts. And Eddie Bryant's not laying back at all here, is he? He's coming right after him still.
Oh, there's a hard left hand by Rogers.
That's the best right
That hurt Rogers.
Rogers tries to get in a clinch here now.
He's hanging on.
Bryant comes right back after him.
Eddie Bryant dazed Paul Rogers. Bryant's...
Well, Rogers just hasn't been able to get any body punches in on Bryant, which might have slowed him down. He's played much more defense. He's trying now. He's got a couple of lefts.
That left hand.
He is more aggressive in this round than we've seen him in the first 3. But as we said, he has to be.
You can see where 4 rounds is the limit for first-time fighters.
Sure. Well, they're used to fighting 3 rounds as amateurs, so it is a step up for them. Bryant looks very confident. I think he knows that this fight is his.
Referee Adams separates the fighters.
And Rogers charges back in. See, that left hook he threw just didn't have anything behind it, did it?
No.
He's very tired. Little butt there.
He's really tired.
But he's coming on gamely.
Oh, he knows it's winding down. Oh, he hit him with a left hand.
I think he might have hurt Bryant for the first time with that one.
Still game. If he would have been this aggressive in the first 2 rounds, he would probably be in this fight.
Yes, he just didn't really hurt Bryant at all until maybe a little bit in this round. I think Bryant now is slowing down a little bit because this is the longest fight he's
another
had.
left hand.
Oh, he just missed with an uppercut.
Rogers got in there.
Another left. Now Bryant is the defensive fighter. Oh. Last chance for Rogers.
Seconds left in the fight. The end of our first fight.
Well, you know, I think
we'll be back after this timeout with a decision.
You know something, my friends?
Waiting for referee Ed Darian's decision.
How's that look? Looking for Ed Darian's announcement of the decision here.
First bout between Eddie Bryant from Brooklyn, New York, and Paul Rogers from Ithaca, New York.
Collecting the cards from the judges, Don Ackerman, who's from Oneida, New York, Joe Ware Sr. of Rochester, and Tommy Hicks from Ithaca. Now, in a case like this, Frank, the fighters from Ithaca, one of the judges from Ithaca, that would not have any bearing on the outcome of the fight.
Well, they're all professional referees and judges. They've been through this with numerous individual fighters from their hometown, and it's just to them, they're just sitting there watching another person.
Here's our decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got the scoring, and here it is. Judge Tommy Hicks scores 40-36, while Judge Don Ackerman He has it at 39-34. And Judge Joe A. Ware has it 39-37. For the winner by unanimous decision in his professional boxing debut, Eddie the Silk Bryant.
Well, we kind of call that through the first 3 rounds, Larry. You said that, you know, he was the aggressor. He threw more punches. Just looked like he was fresher throughout the whole bout. Probably better condition and a little more experience as far as his overall tactics go through his first bout.